used by the agents in Mission Impossible.
Well, you know, there's more to this than just the masks. We not only have to look like each other, we have to be able to act like each other.
You're suggesting we get acting lessons?
Isn't it about time?
I think it is. That's perfect. Let's do it.
So, first up, let's meet the ugly mug maestro who'll be helping Adam and Jamie pull off this mythical face-off.
Now run up and give him a 20.
Now, Rusty and his team have built a business making exactly the kind of super realistic pullover masks that this myth is all about.
These are great.
Which makes them the perfect shop to make masks for Adam and Jamie. Wouldn't you agree?
Their hands-on techniques do match the old-school methods of the Mission Impossible myth, but making an out-of-this-world monster mask is one thing. Recreating a human face accurate enough to fool a security guard is a different beast altogether.
Oh, he's a pointy. That's a very attractive feature.
What?
To make sure Adam and Jamie's masks don't end up with freaky pointy features,
Turn to your left.
step one is gathering accurate data to work from.
Okay, Jamie, we're going to measure your cheekbones.
And with those numbers and pictures as reference, it's over to special effects artist Jim, who sculpts an anatomically accurate clay bust as the foundation for each mask. Next, they create fiberglass molds around those clay forms, which, when hardened, look like this.
This is my mold. Pretty soon they're going to put this together and pour silicone in it, and you'll have a duplicate Jamie.
Once the silicone is set and popped from the mold, the basic canvas for each mask is complete. Now it's time for the texture, detail, and color.
Everybody thinks of skin as just one crayon in the box, when in fact it's composed of a whole bunch of colors, and it's one of the most difficult paint jobs. This guy will take between 6 and 10 hours to get right. It's weird.
This is my half-finished mask. Doesn't look like me much at the moment, but put some hair on it and a beret, you're going to be surprised.
And what's more surprising is how much effort goes into our Whosia hirsute, because the follication is done hair by painstaking hair.
The hair on my mask is actually real human hair, and it's punched into the silicone one follicle at a time. It's very time-consuming. Just the front, the beard and eyebrows, takes 3 days. The whole head, a week. Now, you're gonna shave me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
While Adam and Jamie's faces are being finished, Adam and Jamie head back to the shop to learn to be Adam and Jamie. And to do that, they're in the hands of a legend.
Our acting coach is Terry McGovern. He's been acting for 40 years, and he's been teaching acting himself for 15 years. Film buffs might recognize him as the teacher in American Graffiti. He was also the voice of the Sand Trooper in Star Wars, who said, "These aren't the droids we're looking for." His job today is to teach us the art of impersonation.
Yes, Terry will be coaching Adam and Jamie on how to mimic each other's voice and body language.
First thing I want to do is observe how Jamie and Adam behave. We'll do a little walking, a little talking, and I'll observe how they do those things, what gestures they use, the tone of voice, the level of their voice. You have to see them animated. You have to see them passionate, explaining what they really like or what they really hate.
With Adam, that takes no time at all.
That was easier than I thought it would be.
But Jamie's a tougher nut to crack.
And how would we know then that you're angry?
I don't think you would.
Are you angry at me right now?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Okay, judging from the title Firearms Force and the fact that you guys are packing heat in the blueprint room, I'm guessing we have some shooting in our future.
Yep. And a lot of it. We're testing 2 myths about bullets doing work.
Like killing bad guys?
No, what we're talking about is bullets doing physical work, something moving when you shoot it.
Like what?
Well, the first one is a classic gun myth, where 2 guys are in a duel, one drops his gun, reaches for it, and the other guy shoots it across the floor just out of reach.
But can a bullet really impart that much force?
Exactly. The second myth comes from the movie Shoot 'em Up, where Clive Owen shoots a child's merry-go-round, to get it to spin.
I think we should start with that one. I've always wondered if that was true.
In this shoot-'em-up scene, our hero stymies a sniper by firing a round into a merry-go-round. And supposedly, the force of the bullet spins the target out of harm's way. But is the propulsion down to physics, or is it just cinema spin?
When we test these myths, I think it's going to be important for us to duplicate the circumstances exactly as they appear in the movie, which means distance to shooter and type of gun. Then we go for it.
If that doesn't work, let's step up the firepower.
Well, then we should definitely ramp down the friction of the merry-go-round by using some lube.
So to complete the scene, we need some props. A gun from the movie, a Glock, a merry-go-round, and a shooting range.
Well, let's go. For our firearms force myth, we've come out to the Richmond Rod and Gun Club so we can find out if a handgun has enough force to spin a merry-go-round.
And speaking of merry-go-rounds, they brought their own.
Okay, lubrication might help some of the friction so that we can get a little better spin on this.
With the carousel lubed and level,
Perfect.
Real nice.
and the safety railings in place, it's playtime.
All right, that's it. Let's see if it works.
But before their roundabout becomes the most dangerous play equipment in history,
Oh, it's just like childhood. It's super dangerous. It'll be like I want to throw up.
first, some science of spin.
Now, the challenge with this experiment is that the energy from the bullet's impact has to overcome the merry-go-round's inertia. Inertia being the resistance to movement. And that is based on the mass. This thing weighs over 500 pounds. That's a lot to overcome.
So it's over to Grant using the force gauge to find out exactly how much resistance the bullet needs to overcome.
Okay, 8.6 pounds. Now, we'll see.
To monitor the merry-go-round, Grant adds a gauge, so if the gun gets any spin, they'll know. And speaking of firepower,
To test this myth, we're going to start out with the gun from the movie, the 9mm. And if that doesn't work, we're going to tap into the entire Mythbusters arsenal with more and more powerful firearms.
that's the plan, but first it's down to the movie weapon of choice, the Glock.
Now, it's got a muzzle energy of 383 foot-pounds and a muzzle velocity of 1,300 feet per second.
Remember, the more mass, the more inertia an object has. So at 500 pounds, the merry-go-round has a lot of inertia. And although the bullet has 383 foot-pounds of muzzle energy as it flies through the air, some of that energy dissipates. So, by the point of impact, will it have enough remaining kinetic energy to overcome the inertia and the friction of the bearings? The team takes cover as Tori takes the Glock for a spin.
Shouldn't it be spinning by now?
Oh, that was a good shot, too.
Yeah.
That was a direct hit, and I don't see the merry-go-round moving at all.
Unlike the movie, it seems the Glock doesn't have the power for a push. So, they're switching guns.
So this is the Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum. It has 1,100 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, more than twice that of the Glock. I got just one question. Are you feeling lucky? Punk?
And with 500 foot-pounds more muzzle energy, can the revolver make the merry-go-round revolve?
Go ahead, Grant. Make my day.
I don't even know if you need to take a second shot.
So even with the more powerful handgun, we were not able to get the merry-go-round to spin. We got it to move significantly more than the 9mm, about 3/4 of an inch. But that is not spinning like you see in the movie. Now we have one more handgun in our arsenal.
The 45 caliber has 4 times the muzzle energy of the Glock, but will that extra kinetic energy overcome the merry-go-round's inertia?
Good shot.
I don't see it spinning. Hit it again.
Not spinning yet.
Nope.
Yes, it seems that getting this carousel to spin is anything but the child's play of the movie.
So just like the movie, we started out testing this myth with handguns. We tried 9mm, 45 caliber, and 44 Magnum. And so far, nothing has been able to move this merry-go-round very far. Certainly not like the spinning you see in the film. But you know what? We're not giving up here. We got plenty of other guns.
Adam and Jamie are facing off against the myth that wearing pullover face masks and altering your body language is enough to fool a security guard. And so far they've had their mugs immortalised in silicone, but the masks won't be enough on their own.
Very still.
Cue Acting 101.
Cerebral.
First up, how to be Jamie.
Gestures. A lot of work with the mustache and the beard. Now the voice, okay? Very monotone, very low pitch, very authoritative. I'm excited. This is really thrilling. I used to collect moles and spores.
It's pretty good.
Are we done?
But when it comes to professionally putting the voice,
Fine.
physical gestures and posture together into a believable performance,
Well, he's positioned so that you can't knock him over.
it's a much tougher assignment. But after a few hours of hard work with our professional thespian,
He uses vocal gestures. By that, I mean sometimes instead of words, he will make sounds.
Right.
Jamie slowly but surely emerges.
I'm just trying to get a word in edgewise.
Yeah, not bad.
Adam's almost there, and while he keeps practicing, it's on to Jamie.
First of all, Adam moves a lot.
With all of Adam's garrulous and expressive character traits demonstrated, Jamie enters his own personal Room 101.
You know what? I've had enough. No, I can't do this.
His innate modesty and discomfort in the spotlight makes the whole process a real challenge.
Let's see.
But in a testament to his sense of humour and perseverance, and Terry's teaching skills,
To do that, you had to break the Jamie stance.
Yeah.
they get through it.
Thinks a lot with his hair.
The recipe for being Adam is pretty simple, really. There's a lot of random movement from the waist up, including his arms. You know, I think you might be right. He's constantly adjusting his glasses, smoothing his hair, and stroking his beard. And he laughs often and readily, and generally covers his mouth with his hands right after. Can I stop now?
You may stop and put your ballet back on.
Okay.
My work here is done. Best of luck to you.
After the curtain comes down and Terry bows out, the newly minted thesps have their handmade masks hand-delivered and get a bit of a shock.
Am I really that ugly?
Oh, man.
Ugly, most definitely, but this isn't a Halloween special. The goal here is security breach realism. And to achieve that, they've got to put together the complete package.
Are you ready?
You know, becoming Jamie is more than just being a century and a half old and having a taste for fast cars and hard cider. Oh, no. There's many moving pieces to the puzzle that is James Franklin Heinemann. It starts with the shoes. Then there's the gray pants. The trademark white shirt, for which clearly I need some bigger shoulders.
Add shoulder pads, the all-important mask, beret and glasses.
And then the transformation is complete.
And fake face to fake face, the comparison is impressive.
I gotta say, the clothes make the man, don't they?
They seriously do.
But is it good enough? After all, there are some obvious flaws in this face-off.
The technique that was used to make this mask involves sculpting it over a generic inner mold. That means that every time a different person wears it, it's going to look slightly different. In my case, Adam's head here is a bit larger and fatter than it is in real life, so the masks aren't perfect.
Is that how I stand? Can I hold loose and everything?
I was told to be really fluid, because you're always moving.
So far, the handguns failed to spin the wheel. So now for something a little bigger.
What I have here is our good old standby 12-gauge shotgun.